Welcome back to Skyrim mod comparisons. So today we'll be looking at mods that basically enhance realism when it comes to weather. And they do this by adding effects to NPCs in the player, such as getting snow all over your clothes and that kind of thing, and drips and lots of other effects that you'd expect to see on a player or an NPC after a certain weather event. So the two mods are Wet and Cold and Get Snowy. Now the main difference between these mods are the amount of features and how intensive they are in performance, and most importantly, how stable they are in terms of scripting. So Wet and Cold uses lots of scripts in order to get the effects, meanwhile Get Snowy doesn't use any, which basically means it doesn't have quite as many features. But it also means that your game will generally be more stable, and you'll be less likely to suffer from save bloat and other crash to desktop problems. So we'll start with Wet and Cold. So one of the main features of this mod is the MCM menu, which requires SkyUI to run, obviously. And this basically allows you to change pretty much anything about the mod, which will help you immensely if you want to remove certain features and allow different mods to do that particular thing. For example, within the mod Frostfall, there is wet dripping effects that you can enable while disabling the ones from Wet and Cold, which will cause no problems. So a quick rundown of all the features. One of the main ones is wet drips, so when you go swimming or are in rain, then you'll start getting drips all over your skin. You get soggy feet, which means that you get a sound effect when you've been walking around in the rain. Other cool things like NPCs will go inside their houses when it's raining, instead of walking around and getting soaked. And also that you can get rain gear that NPCs will equip when it starts raining. You'll also now have visible cold breath, so you'll be able to see the moisture coming out of your mouth when it's cold. Snow will start to gather on characters and NPCs when it's snowing, rather than just leaving you completely untouched. And also, if you're in a blizzard or a storm or something, you will start to become blinded by all the things that are hitting you, so it's even more essential to get out of a blizzard, especially if you're using a mod like Frostfall, you'll die of the cold. Well, now you won't be able to see either, so let's add to how hard it really is. There's a few other cool items that you get added to the game from this mod, like snowshoes, which allow you to travel in snow a bit faster, and lots of other cool little bits of survival gear that NPCs will carry around with them. So yeah, there are quite a lot of features that get added with this mod, and as you can see, some of them are very exciting and new, and other things are kind of realistic things that you kind of wish were added to the game in the first place, really. So now we'll move on to the next mod, Get Snowy. Now this mod is nowhere near as advanced as Wet and Cold because it does not use scripts, and I mentioned the benefits of that earlier. So the only thing this mod actually does is quite simply just, well, you get snowy, simple as that. And you get a visual effect to the player and NPCs when snow is falling, and all live and dead NPCs will have snow on them as well. The mod basically just tries to keep it simple, with not too many features, but just kind of a little added feature that will really help with immersion. People often argue between these mods of which one they should use, and the answer is to use both. They're compatible, and basically if you like Get Snowy's effects more than Wet and Cold's, you can switch, so if you want to use both, you can. But the idea of Get Snowy is that if you have a game that's full of scripted mods and you really get quite laggy and you don't want to keep adding more scripts to it, to your save, and it's going to bloat, then you can simply use Get Snowy and you won't have those problems at all, and you can still have the snowy effect that you wanted. So yeah, like I mentioned before, these mods will be absolutely perfect for mods like Footprints and Frostfall. They're the ideal mods to use them with, mainly because it just adds more immersion to the already immersive mods that are out there. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it, and let me know in the comments which mod you're going to use, or if you're going to use both. Anyway, I'll be seeing you next time on Skyrim mod comparisons.